Hello students, my name is Sonali Bhargava and today we will going to discuss about the classification of logic family. So contents are here, classification of logic families, level of integration, specification of digital ICs, TTL circuit, TTL NAND gate, MOS or CMOS circuit, CMOS NAND gate, ECL circuit, comparison and number of digital ICs. So let's start the session. So first is the introduction. So logic gates are available in the form of integrated circuit, that is ICs. As per the level of integration, the ICs can accommodate more number of logic gates and digital functions. These forms are referred as the logic family. So here is the classification of logic families. Digital logic families are classified into two types: bipolar logic family and unipolar logic families. So bipolar logic family further divided into two types: saturated and non-saturated. And the unipolar logic family further divided into three types: PMOS, NMOS and CMOS. This is the types of the saturated bipolar logic families. So first type is the resistor transistor logic, direct coupled transistor logic, integrated injection logic, diode transistor logic, high threshold transistor logic, transistor logic. This transistor logic are further divided into saturated TTL, high power TTL, low power TTL, low power Schottky and Schottky. And the non-saturated logic bipolar logic families are further divided into Schottky TTL and intercoupled logic, that is ECL. So here is the important points. The digital family is categorized by two types. First one is the bipolar and second one is the unipolar. In saturated bipolar logic families, the transistor in the IC driven into saturation. In non-saturated bipolar logic families, the transistor in the IC not driven into saturation. In PMOS and NMOS unipolar logic family, only P and N channel MOSFET are used. CMOS unipolar logic family, both P and N channel MOSFET are used. All families same logic level and same voltage. Then level of integration. Number of gates fabricated in single IC. There are 4 generations. Small scale integration, that is SSI. 12 gates in one chip. Then medium scale integration, that is MSI. In that 12 to 100 gates. Then large scale integration, LSI, 100 to 1000 gates. And the last one is the very large scale integration, that is VLSI. That in that up to 1 lakh or more gates are involved. So another point is the specification of digital ICs. Different types of ICs are manufactured based on the components used and their interconnection. These ICs are compared using certain performance specifications. The specifications are power dissipation, propagation delay, fan in, fan out, input logic level, output logic level, compatibility, non-noise margin, and speed power product. So first specification is power dissipation. This is the mean power of logic circuit draws from the supply during one complete cycle. This parameter is very important because if the power dissipation is large, then the life period of IC is reduced. It should be noted that in one complete cycle, the IC is in logic 1 for half the time and in logic 0 during the remaining half. The power dissipation of logic gate is equal to the D supply voltage, that is VCC times the average supply current, that is IC. So second specification is propagation delay. This parameter characterizes the speed of logic circuit. The propagation delay of IC is the mean time required for a pulse to pass through the IC. It is thus defined as the time interval between change in the input and the resulting change in the output of an IC. It is represented by TP, and this is the diagram of the propagation delay. Next specification is fanning. Fanning of the logic circuit gives the maximum number of inputs that can be connected to the logic circuit without impairing other primary parameters. Then fan out. Fan out of a logic circuit is the maximum number of outputs the circuit may have and still operate properly. The fan out is the limiting factor which determines the number of loads that the given data can given. Fanning and fan out. Then fanning is the number of inputs a gate has. For example, a 2-input gate will have fanning equal to 2. And fan out is the maximum family outside, that is the same IC through falling the limit. Then fifth specification is input logic level, that is VIL and VIH. If the input voltage level changes without changing the output, this is known as the input logic level. The input is either in logic 0, low 0 volt or logic 1. High that is plus 5 volt. Some tolerance is allowed to the input voltage. For example, if the input voltage may change from 0 volt to 0.8 volt without changing the output level, this voltage of 0.87 volt is defined as the maximum low input voltage, that is VIL. If the logic 1 may change from plus 5 volt to plus 2 volt without affecting the output level, then the plus 2 volt is known as the minimum high level input voltage, that is VIH. And this is the diagram of the input logic levels. Then specification number 6 is output logic level. The output voltage is at 0 volt for logic 0 and at 5 volt for logic 1. For example, in supply voltage variation, voltage drop across resistors, etc. So these voltages tend to vary. Thus, any voltage say from 0 volt to 0.4 volt is considered as low output. Similarly, any voltage from 2.7 volt to 5 volt is considered as logic 1. Thus, the worst case output voltage at the maximum low level output voltage, that is VOL, and the minimum high level output voltage, that is VOH, and this is the diagram of the output logic level. The next specification is compatibility, ability to work with another. Compatibility is defined as the ability of one device to drive the input of another device. If the output of one device is connected to the input of another device, for both the devices, the input logic level and output logic level must be same. Then these two devices are compatible. The next one is the noise margin. There is a minimum permissible variation between the drive device and the load device. This difference is known as the noise margin. As long as the noise level of any straight interference picked by the various leads of the device is within this value of 0.4 volt, the input of the load device is not affected. So this is the diagram of the noise margin. Then next specification is speed power product. It is specified by the manufacturers as the measure of the performance of logic circuit based on the product of the propagation delay, time and the power dissipation at a specific frequency, and it is expressed in the unit of joules. Speed power product. Desirable properties: short propagation delays, that is high speed, low power dissipation, and speed power product measures the combined effect. So this is the review of the specification of digital ICs. This is the totem pole circuit. A and B are the input and output is Y is equals to AB bar. Here four resistors are required, RB, RC1, RC2 and RE. This is transistor number 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is VCC and this is ground. This circuit is known as the totem pole circuit. Then another point is transistor logic, that is TTL circuit. This is the TTL circuit. The most widely used logic family is transistor logic, that is TTL. It has bipolar transistor. High power, that is TP, is equals to 10 nanosecond. Low power dissipation. Fan in from 12 to 14. Fan out equals to 10 or more. TTL NAND gates, the multi-emitter transistor T1 is used to drive the output of T2. Inputs are given in an emitter of T1 and output is taken from collector of T2. Then this is the circuit of emitter coupled logic, that is ECL. Here A, B input, output is Y is equals to AB bar. And this is the truth table of NAND gate. Then operation performed in this circuit is, if one of the input is 0, that is low, the corresponding emitter junction is forward biased, that is VE is less than VB. So T1 is in saturation region, that is on, and collector also biased to conduct, the voltage is low, that is 0.3 volt. This forces T2 off because the collector voltage of T1 is base voltage of T2. So the output taken from the collector of T2 is high, that is 1. If both the input is high, then both emitter reverse bias. So T1 is in cutoff, that is off region. This increases collector voltage of T1 that pulls T2 to saturation, that is on. Thus the output is low, that is 0. So next point is the TTL NAND gate and the open collector TTL NAND gate. This is the circuit diagram of TTL NAND gate and this is the circuit diagram of open collector TTL NAND gate. Open collector TTL NAND gate. In open collector TTL circuit, the output of T2 is given to input of T3 at base. The collector of it is open. The collector of T2 and collector of T3 in phase. So this works as NAND gate. This circuit needs an external pull-up resistor between the output and the power supply for proper operation. The disadvantages of this circuit is low speed. If the output had changed from low to high, the transistor T3 has to change from saturation to cutoff. This means the charge carriers in the collector of T3 should be removed. As the current path is through the pull-up resistor, more times is taken to change the output from 0 to 1. This disadvantage can be rectified by totem pole. So next point is totem pole TTL NAND gate. In TTL logic circuit, there are 3 stages. First one is the multi-emitter input stage. Then second, phase emitter splitter stage. And third one is the totem pole output stage. In totem pole NAND gate circuit, the output is taken from T3. When both input is 1, then the T1 is in cutoff. This makes T2 in saturation. So the current flows through T2 and RE. This makes T3 in saturation. So the output Y is low. At this time T4 is also off. That is VB is less than VE. Base is not higher than emitter. That is VE is equals to D 0.8 volt plus T3, that is 0.3 volt, and VB is equals to T2, that is 0.3 volt plus T3 minus VB, that is 0.7 volt. In total mode TTL NAND gate, if any one of the input is made low, that is 0 at T1 emitter, the corresponding emitter junction becomes conductive. This makes T1 on, T2 and T3 off, and the T4 is on. That makes output high. Then the circuit acts as NAND gate. So always one of the token pole transistor is in on state for giving low or high, the output impedance is low. Thus, the extra charge carrier passes via on transistor. Then the advantages is low propagation delay, low output impedance, and high fan out. So next point is the MOS or CMOS circuit. Metal oxide semiconductor, that is MOS, field effect transistor. There are three types: PMOS, that is P-channel MOSFET, it is the slowest one. The N-channel MOSFET, it has a microprocessor and memories. Then third type is CMOS, that is complementary MOS, that is both N and P channel are available. Then advantages of this CMOS is low power dissipation, low noise, high fan out, high switching speed, and better compatibility. So this is the circuit diagram of the CMOS NAND gate. CMOS NAND gate operation. Complementary MOSFET T1 and T2 are P-channel MOSFET and T3 and T4 are the N-channel MOSFET. If inputs are high, that is 1, the P-channel MOSFET T1 and T2 off, N-channel MOSFET T3 and T4 on. So the output is low. The next point is CMOS NAND gate operation. If any one of the input is high, then the PMOS transistor is off and its combinational NMOS transistor is on. The emitter coupled logic, that is ECL. ECL is the fastest among all logic families. The basic components is current, switch or difference amplifier with out of phase output. This result ECL is known as the current mode logic, that is CML. Transistor operates on non-saturated at limited collector current, so the emitter coupling is used. It doesn't allow transistor to saturate. Then advantages is so switching speed is high, propagation delay is greater than 3 nanoseconds, and the high fanning out. The disadvantages is highest power dissipation, additional reference voltage source, so it is used in a super fast computing. ECR NOR gate. Operation of this circuit is if one of the input of the or all the inputs are high, then the output is low because one or more transistor conducts. Output is high when all inputs are low. The last point of this unit is comparison of TTL, CMOS and ECL logic families. So this is the characterization and this one is the types or the TTL, CMOS and ECL. So first characterization is gate. In TTL we use NAND gate. In CMOS we use NAND or NOR gate, and ECL we use the NOR gate. Then noise immunity, that is PIN. TTL have 0.50, CMOS have 1.50 and ECL have 0.16. The third characterization is fan out, that is F out. TTL is greater than 10, CMOS is greater than 10 and also ECL is greater than 10. The next one is the fanning, that is FE. TTL have 12 to 14, CMOS have greater than 10 and ECL also have greater than 10. Then propagation delay, that is TPD, in nanoseconds. TTL have 15 nanoseconds, CMOS have 15 nanoseconds and ECL have less than 3 nanoseconds. Then last characterization is power dissipation, that is PD, in milliwatt. TTL have 0.1 milliwatt, CMOS have 175 milliwatt, and ECL have 0.001 milliwatt. So this is all about the logic families.